You know, they say you're never ready when the big one hits. And even though we all kind of knew this was coming, it's just 2 weeks ago we saw him up on stage performing with Black Sabbath for the final time. And now here we are on July the 22nd, and John Michael Osbourne, born December 3rd, 1948, has left us at the age of 76 after his long battle with Parkinson's disease. And he's leaving an empty hole here in so many of us. I just found out about a couple minutes ago, and here I am trying to, by the way, I'm Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility, trying to piece together my thoughts on what I'm going to say about a guy who has meant so much to me for most of my life, 80% of my life. I've been a Black Sabbath fan since like 1978 or 79 when I was just, 12, 13 years old. And there really hasn't been a band that has made more of an impact on my life than Black Sabbath. And some of my favorite albums of all time, albums that I still listen to over and over again that are firmly entrenched in my DNA, were sung by Mr. Ozzy Osbourne. And though I can't profess to, have loved every single thing he ever put out during his solo career and whatnot, he, to me, was always one of the ultimate rock stars and the godfather of heavy metal. I mean, along with Tony Iommi, the godfather of heavy metal from a guitar perspective, but from a frontman perspective, it doesn't get any better than Ozzy Osbourne. And seeing him compromised up there on stage with his three original band members in Black Sabbath in Birmingham just 2 weeks ago, sitting down for the whole performance, but giving it his all. And, you could tell he wanted to get up and do all his old stuff, but his body obviously won't allow him anymore. You knew like his performing days were over. But, we've all been saying for the last couple of weeks, well, he sounded pretty good. Maybe they have another album in them, right? Maybe he's got another solo album in him. Maybe there's something he can do. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And you have to wonder if there was more going on behind the scenes that we knew of, and the reason why they were so quick to put this all together was because his days were numbered. I don't know. It really doesn't matter at this point. I think we're pretty lucky that we did get that final performance when we did, because I think that would have really sucked if he left us before they were able to do that. So somewhere, someone had a plan for this, and some things happen for a reason, right? Anyway, I just wanted to kind of talk about my life with Ozzy Osbourne and his music for a little bit here. And I apologize, I'm feeling a bit emotional. The first band I ever saw live was this band. 1981, the Mid-Hudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsie, New York. Ozzy and Randy and Rudy and Tommy up there playing stuff from this album and playing a couple Black Sabbath classics. First time I had been to a rock or metal concert, I was 15 years old. Love it every minute of it. Motorhead opened up. Then Ozzy came on. I was in the 8th row. And there was Randy in front of me with his polka dot Flying V guitar and his white Gibson Les Paul custom. And Ozzy up there doing this. And it was a long time ago. And my memory of that night is very blurry because it was so long ago and I'm getting older. But I'll always remember, like at the time, because, Ozzy went solo like shortly after I started getting into the band. And there was no internet back then. So like by the time I'm getting into Paranoid and all those early albums, it's, Heaven and Hell comes out and I'm like, wait a second, that's not Ozzy singing. No, Ozzy's gone from the band. Then you start reading things in magazines, and then this comes out, and then, of course, this Monster album comes out. And, you have both Ozzy and Sabbath. So I was able to, throughout the 80s and onwards, follow both bands, Ozzy's band and Black Sabbath, through all their turmoil and whatnot. And I remember, like, how excited I was the morning of Live Aid, seeing them reunite, playing Live Aid, which was a thrill for me. Seeing them reunite in the 90s, seeing them on the End tour, seeing them on, the 13 tour. And so I've been lucky enough to see Ozzy with Sabbath many times. And I've seen Ozzy solo a lot. I mean, like I said, I saw the Blizzard of Oz tour, I saw Bark at the Moon tour, Ultimate Sin tour, plenty of the other ones. I saw Ozfest a number of times. So, the ultimate showman. Whatever you think of his singing voice, whether there are more classic sounding singers in metal or whatnot, it doesn't really matter at this point. But I tell you, here I am, almost 60 years old, and stuff like this, certainly like this, and this, and this, and this, and these two that I just showed you already. I mean, to me, and there's other good stuff in both catalogs, don't get me wrong, but to me, if you were to tell me tomorrow, Mr. Pardo, we're going to send you away somewhere and you can only bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 albums with you. If they asked me that today, what would you take with you? I might take these. And that's all I have to listen to for the rest of my life. I'd be okay with that. Ozzy, Tony, Geezer, and Bill, those guys together during this period made magic for me. And it's magical music that still thrills me to this day. It's just hard to fathom, like, how we all have our favorite bands, and I have lots of favorite bands, lots of them. Deep Purple is my other big favorite band. I love bands like Zeppelin and Uriah Heep and The Who and Dream Theater and Rainbow and Van Halen and Scorpions and Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and Genesis and Yes and Jethro Tull and on and on and on and on and on. Opeth, Symphony X, all these bands. I listen to it. I have a lot of favorite bands. But the music of Black Sabbath and the performances and stage presence and character of Ozzy Osbourne will forever be with me, even though he's no longer with us anymore. Yeah, it's hard to believe he's gone. Hard to believe, because we just saw him. Even though I wasn't there in person, I was in a room full of people watching it on pay-per-view and thinking, something, Ozzy did good tonight. Ozzy should feel proud of what he did tonight. It wasn't perfect, but that's okay. We didn't need him to be perfect. We just need him to be Ozzy for another hour, right? Yeah. Goodbye, Ozzy. We're going to miss you. But I think even though your physical being is no longer going to be here anymore on this earth with the rest of us, as I've been doing for the last 47 years, I will continue to listen to your voice singing those lyrics for these albums for the rest of my time in this world, on this planet, in this body. And I'm happy about that. So even though you won't be here, we won't be seeing you live anymore, we won't be hearing you talk anymore, I think your pain is over, and you're probably in a better place. And rest in peace. The Ozman cometh and goeth. We'll remember you always. Thanks for watching. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube and Instagram all the damn time. Celebrate the music and life of Ozzy Osbourne today, everybody. And we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.